7 Rajya Sabha MPs, some of Aam Aadmi Party's most prominent leaders, gone in a single press conference earlier this month.
हमने ये decide किया that we, the 2/3 members of parliament of the belonging to the Aam Aadmi Party in Rajya Sabha, exercise the provisions of the Constitution of India and merge ourselves with the BJP. हम BJP में विलय करते हैं.
Among them, the one you just heard is Raghav Chadha, AAP's most recognizable face after Arvind Kejriwal himself, and Sandeep Pathak, the IIT graduate who built the party's organisational backbone from scratch. They are among the 7 who have now signed their letters and walked into the BJP. This is not just a split. It's the story of a party born in the heat of the India Against Corruption movement, swept to power on a historic mandate in 2015, now bleeding its own people in public. So why is this happening? Did AAP actually fail to deliver what it had promised? What were its biggest missteps? Why can't AAP retain its senior leaders? And can Punjab, its only bastion, save the party from oblivion? It's Friday, the 1st of May. I'm Anirban Chowdhury. This is the Morning Brief. So I started by asking my colleague Nidhi Sharma, when did the current spate of troubles start for AAP?
So Anirban, the troubles I think started when the central investigative agencies started filing cases against the top leadership. And I think the final straw for Aam Aadmi was the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, the national convener, and his final incarceration, which the timing was quite bad for the Aam Aadmi Party. It, in a way, cost the party the election in Delhi.
When AAP won 67 of 70 seats in Delhi in 2015, it wasn't just an election. It was a social impact.
See, why Aam Aadmi Party got the traction it did. It was a tsunami in a way when 2015 they won and then 2020 mandate as well. The common man thought that he would have a stake in governance, bhagidari in governance. So every time there was an important decision to be made, he would open phone lines and he would take that opinion. So this was a very different style of functioning. The first term was all about their education model and their mohalla clinic model. You can see the infrastructure that they have created in schools. It is still intact. The schools look swanky. There are proper desks. So there was a sense of pride that they instilled in that socio-economic class that nobody really cared for.
The AAP government tripled the education budget, renovated schools with smart classrooms and proper desks, and built over 20,000 new classrooms. On healthcare, the Mohalla Clinic network grew to 548 neighborhood clinics offering 450 types of free tests and medicines. It logged over 7 crore outpatient visits by early 2024, or roughly 64,000 patients a day. And free electricity below 200 units, free bus rides for women, it was all real. But that was the first term.
Now they said, when they assumed power, they said that we will not take that lal batti. Okay, we will not live in those homes. Now cut to after 10 years of power, what did people really see? People saw that they were using the same cars, they were living in palatial homes. So there were missteps all along.
Let's look at some of the biggest of AAP's missteps, most of which, of course, were exploited by its rival party, the BJP. The renovation of the CM's residence, which a CAG report confirmed jumped from an estimate of 7.91 crore rupees to 33.66 crore. That became BJP's most lethal weapon. The Yamuna, 10 years of promises, 2 manifesto commitments, and yet the river remained among the most polluted in India. Over 90% of Delhi residents, as per a Lokniti CSDS survey, were dissatisfied with the city's cleanliness.
Then they were involved in liquor policy scam. They went back on the liquor policy and then a spate of arrests.
In November 2021, the government privatized Delhi's liquor retail. That meant 849 new licenses, discounts allowed on MRP, and the government exiting the business entirely. The stated aim? Modernize and raise revenue. The allegation that followed, as per the CBI and the ED, that the policy was designed to hand wholesale liquor to private entities at a 12% guaranteed margin in exchange for a 6% kickback to party leaders. Deputy CM Manish Sisodia was arrested in February 2023. Kejriwal himself was arrested in March 2024. That was the first sitting chief minister in Indian history to be arrested. Eventually, AAP lost Delhi.
Also, they never invested in the big infrastructure. Right now, Aam Aadmi Party gives you statistics saying that we constructed X number of flyovers and everything. But if you really see, the city on the ground looks unkempt. The pavements are broken. The roads are broken.
Absolutely.
In the first term also, Arvind Kejriwal had dharnas. Dharnas against the center, saying that I'm not being allowed to work. But this rhetoric can work till a certain point. You can't give the same thing to people for 10 years. Now, you obviously want the capital city to look like any other city. It does not even compare to our own Indian cities like Hyderabad. And that is how people somehow got a little bit tired of where is the calm? The Rajniti that he had promised us, where is that calm ki Rajniti? So this was a cultivated image that they could never hold.
Now let's look at the latest 7 exits. Under constitutional provisions, a 2/3 majority of a parliamentary group can merge with another party. AAP had 10 Rajya Sabha MPs, 7 signed that letter. Who are they? Raghav Chadha, the sharpest departure, AAP's most polished communicator. Chadha was the party's public face through every crisis. Then Sandeep Pathak, who built AAP's election machinery from scratch. Gujarat, Punjab, Delhi. Swati Maliwal, former head of the Delhi Commission for Women, who had made serious allegations against a top party official. Ashok Mittal, founder of Lovely Professional University, he brought credibility and Punjab connections. Harbhajan Singh, the cricket legend from Punjab. Rajinder Gupta, Trident Group founder, Padma Shri, he's actually exited within months of joining. And Vikramjit Singh Sahni, industrialist, Sun Foundation head.
So Anirban, exit of Raghav Chadha, we thought would come sooner. In fact, Raghav Chadha is original team Kejriwal, but one could really see his personal ambition taking over. In fact, the time when all the top leadership of Aam Aadmi Party was in jail, he chose to be in London. Gradually, so he said there was a medical issue that he was attending to. There was some eye problem that he had. So he, in a way, was not there when the party needed him the most. So it reflects on him poorly as well. When you actually abdicate your responsibility as the chief spokesperson in Delhi, as the Karta Dharta of party in Punjab, it does reflect that you are no longer interested in the party working. And this was the most vulnerable time for not just the party, but for Arvind Kejriwal. And he wasn't there. This was noted. Now, gradually, when this term came, when this new Lok Sabha was formed, everybody thought he would quit. Him, Harbhajan Singh, these were two names we would often hear that they will quit Aam Aadmi Party. But they carried on. Now, if you see in the beginning of April, the party demoted in a way Raghav Chadha. It is very evident at that time, Aam Aadmi Party knew that some kind of a coup he is going to perpetrate. He had stopped meeting Arvind Kejriwal. In fact, certain MPs who have left with him have even told me that last year they told him, let's go meet Arvind Kejriwal, probably things will become better. And he did not agree. He said, things have come to such a place that nothing was going to improve. Now, what really happened here? Swati Maliwal, had her differences with the party, and she accused Bibhav, the right-hand man, the trusted lieutenant of Kejriwal, of physically assaulting her. Right. Now, their continuance in the party becomes untenable. So these were exits waiting to happen. The most surprising parts, the most surprising exit is that of Sandeep Pathak. Now, Here is a man. I mean, there's such an interesting story, Anirban, of how Sandeep Pathak came into Aam Aadmi Party. He used to stand outside Arvind Kejriwal's home and he would wonder how to give back. He was one of those people who wanted to make a difference in policy. He would stand outside Arvind Kejriwal's home in the first term and he would wonder how to meet this man. Because I have ideas for the party, how do I go and meet him? And he said the first time he met him was in a Janata Darbar. He said the ideas he had about how to, strengthen the booth level working of the party really caught Arvind Kejriwal's imagination. And then Sandeep actually got together a team and he became the most reliable backroom boy of Kejriwal.
And I believe he sort of built that organizational machinery also, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. If you really see his work in Gujarat, latter part of 2017, Gujarat election, they made their debut there. Now, Sandeep Pathak has told me that initially in 2016, nobody was even willing to give them office space in Gujarat. And he said, finally, we got office space when I think he said that I lied to the person renting us out the office space when I told them that, there is a BPO that is going to function from here. And he said that we were a young lot who would just come and sit there. And genuinely, the landlord thought that this commercial space is actually being used by a BPO. That's how they got office space to run some operations. They didn't even have a party office before that. Every election, Anirban, I've seen every by-election became a do-or-die battle for Aam Aadmi Party. Who steers these elections? It was Sandeep Pathak, who he used to be pressed into service in Punjab, in Gujarat, and one would see him just working for the party. Now, what happened was with the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, when Kejriwal was put into jail, there were coteries that came about in the party. I have always harped on the fact that there is no second rung of leadership is that there has to be a plan B. You can't leave the party on a clutch of leaders and expect them to find their own working style and their own working balance. So in that place, Sandeep Pathak, who in a way owed his political heft, his clout within the party to Arvind Kejriwal, fell by the wayside. After Arvind Kejriwal came out of jail, he did not get any plum postings, any plum charges, and he was made in charge of Chhattisgarh. Now, that for a person who has steered your elections in Gujarat, Punjab, Delhi, that is not going to keep you occupied. So somewhere people like him, Ashok Mittal, these people felt shortchanged.
But Arvind Kejriwal always had a problem of retaining leadership. Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan in 2015, founding members expelled just weeks after AAP's historic victory. They had accused Kejriwal of autocratic behavior over ticket distribution. Kailash Gehlot, November 2024, then Transport Minister, a key Jat face in Delhi. He cited the Sheeshmahal and the corruption charges. When Kejriwal stepped down as CM after bail, the party chose Atishi Marlena. Gehlot had expected the job. He joined BJP within 24 hours. So, from 2015 to 2023, there was a slow drain. Ashutosh, Alka Lamba, Kapil Mishra, Punjab MLAs. The complaint, always the same. One man, one decision, no room to disagree. Is there a pattern here?
Yes, there is a pattern, Anirban, but I'd like to differentiate between the exits of, say, Yogendra Yadav, Kumar Vishwas, Ashutosh, from the exits of, say, Kailash Gehlot and the current lot. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of difference. If you see Yogendra Yadav, that was the initial team that was heading the India Against Corruption. That was like a movement, when the Nirbhaya rape case happened. And they rallied the masses behind them. And then it became like a fight against corruption, which led to ouster of Sheila Dikshit and the Congress from Delhi. Some of the early exits, if you really see, Anirban, were also because people did not think that Arvind Kejriwal had political ambitions. Some working very closely to him initially thought that this is a social cause that he has taken up. So at that time, which way should that movement go? Those differences led to those exits. Now, that is different from what right now we are seeing. What the current crisis is all about personal ambition. It is being seen as a need to protect their personal interests as well as political survival.
Got it. Okay. Now, you spoke about Kejriwal's incarceration in your first answer. He was discharged in February this year, and that has made absolutely no difference to his party falling apart. What does that say about his position as a leader?
I would think, Anirban, that these are just looked at like, one victory in court. Till you get discharged from the Supreme Court, it does not make a difference. The biggest problem with Aam Aadmi Party right now is the dent they have suffered after the defeat in Delhi in their entire public image and their poll plank of Kattar Imandar Party, right? That needs to be rectified for the party to stop bleeding. So the sense of drift will continue within the party till they don't address it. And that is why, Anirban, next year's Punjab elections are very crucial. If Aam Aadmi Party loses that election, that is when I will say it will start unraveling.
Punjab is everything for AAP. The party won the state in 2022 on fury over drugs. For 15 years, the state's youth had been devastated, with successive governments not just failing to act, but by many accounts actively protecting the traffickers. AAP's anti-drug campaign, Yudh Nashe Ke Viruddh, gained serious momentum in 2025. Over 8,300 FIRs in the first 90 days from March. Nearly 15,000 arrests. Drug lords' properties bulldozed. An anti-drug curriculum is now in schools. On paper, it's the most serious action Punjab has seen.
Their biggest plank right now is the fight against drugs. I have always maintained the people are so tired, so unhappy with the drug situation in Punjab. Any political party that addresses the drug menace will win. So they started this fight against drugs last year. If the people know that this fight is for real and they see the difference on the ground, Aam Aadmi Party might just swing it.
But there are organizational cracks.
People like Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, two leaders, have completely taken over the Punjab affairs, and everything is being steered by them in Punjab. They're camping in Punjab. They are, micro detailing of schemes and how they are rolled out. Everything is being steered by the Delhi team. Now there is a fallout of this entire exercise. The core leaders who are Punjab unit leaders of Aam Aadmi Party, there is that angst in them. We called it the Delhification of the Punjab unit. So they thought that we are the ones who have been actively involved, who are nurturing the party, compared to what Delhi was doing for Punjab. Now, Punjab state unit is actually going through a flux because they feel that this taking over of the Punjab unit by Delhi leaders is not on. Because right now is the time when they want to have that power, that share in the governance, which is being totally overtaken by Delhi leadership. So there is a lot of trouble brewing for Aam Aadmi Party internally in Punjab.
How long do you really give AAP as a party of relevance?
They will not be able to write off this party. It's very difficult to write off a person like Arvind Kejriwal. Unless he goes and joins some other party. It's very difficult. He's very dogged in his pursuit of whatever he has set his sight on. I have seen him from the times he was an activist, and his mind is crystal clear. He does not get bogged down by anything. Even in the current crisis, He made his last ditch effort with all the leaders. He had personal meetings with Sandeep Pathak. Everybody, he had proper meetings before he just let them go, because that's when he realized that it's just not working. So he's absolutely instinctive about things, and it's rare to find that shrewdness and hard work in politicians the way he has.
All right. Thank you, Nidhi, so much.
Thanks, Anirban.
So, the AAP of 2015, the muffler, the Jan Sabha, the clean image, all gone. What remains is a battle-worn organisation stripped of Delhi, stripped of its Rajya Sabha bloc, stripped of some of its most capable architects. The next chapter will be written in Punjab. Either AAP proves that it can still govern, or it becomes the cautionary tale of a movement that forgot what it was fighting for. That's it for today. You were listening to this episode on The Morning Brief. It was produced by me, sound designed by Indranil Bhattacharjee. Keep listening to The Morning Brief wherever you get your podcasts. Stay tuned.